Everyone, Magic Flying Potato here, and I know this is coming in a bit late, but I'm going to go ahead and just go over the public test patch notes for the update 0.12.0.12.0. I know there has been a small update after this one, but we'll just go ahead and go over it, and I will timestamp this. So if you look below, if you're looking for something specific, there will be timestamps below to help you navigate through all this information. Also, this is the public test patch notes, so anything that's in here can change when the public release is finally put out. So everything that is discussed here may not make it out into the actual update when it does release. So let's go ahead and get into this. All right, so as everybody knows that there is the barbecue spill, the new biome, which is very sizzly. You're definitely going to need your antlion armor to go into that area. So, and that is the area that you will get your new charcoal, which is called Ever Charcoal or something like that. I forget the name offhand, but that's where you get your new charcoal at. The shed surrounding, so the front of the shed has been updated. There is a porch on the front of the shed, and also underneath the shed has been updated. You cannot go into the shed anymore. It is locked up for right now. We'll see what happens with future updates. Wood piles, yes, the wood pile that is off to the left of the shed is now where the termites are at, as well as the termite king. And there are multiple levels to this new zone, and I'll let you know right now that the creatures there are very high level, so you're going to have some very good tier 3 gear going in there prior to going in there. My suggestion, I went in with koi armor. I did okay, but I did have my antlion sword and a couple of other tier 3 items going in. The new bugs that are coming out, as everybody has probably already heard, is the termite, soldier termite, ladybug larva, ladybird, black ox beetle, the roly-poly. This is not the sickly roly-poly. Those are still down in the garden area by the trash pile and the picnic table. Somebody has told me that those have changed, though. The green shield bug, which is underneath the porch. The dust mites have made their appearance. The scarab, that little elusive green bug that's very hard to find and catch, unless you have arrows. And the infected wood spider, which has been updated and now appears underneath the oak tree, or in the oak tree, once you turn off the gas. Very hard to fight. Took me an hour to do it. Okay, so new crafting content. You got a termite tier 3 axe, black ox hammer tier 3, termite chest armor. No other parts of that armor has been created as of yet. It's just the chest armor. Splinter arrows, new secret weapon. I've got it. I'm pretty sure everybody knows about it already, but it is a new secret weapon. The new set of base floors from Burweed, and 2 new meals, one available now and one will follow in an update. So I'm not sure if that one has been released with the last update. New features, a resource survey station. So this is pretty cool right here. They're in every field station. It was when you had to go in and click on it. Now they unlock when you see the research stations. And what they will do is when you go in and click on them, you'll be able to search for resources that you have already analyzed, and they will show up on the map, and you will be able to put a temporary marking on them, a waypoint as to say, and it will lead you to where that resource is at. If it is a bug and you're looking for that specific resource on that bug, just because you put a waypoint there doesn't mean that bug will be there, because the bug may be moving unless that bug is dead. Now, key thing there is the analyze. It has to be an analyzed material. So if you're looking for something that you have not analyzed as of yet, hence some of the new things that have came out with this update, if you have not analyzed them yet, they will not show up on your resource map until you analyze them. Some custom game options. So they have totally revamped the options of your game. I'm pretty sure a lot of have seen this, but when you go into your menu, you could unlock all kinds of different features in the game, from difficulty level to unlocking all your resources for free. Bug spawns, bugs ignore players. I mean, just go down the list. Friendly fire, you can turn off and on. Pet invincibility, you can turn off and on. hunger, thirst drain, you can turn off and on. Now they say if you go in and make these adjustments, if you are looking for achievements that are also coming out with the game, you will not get the achievements if you start messing with all these settings, because it's pretty much going into a custom setting that lets you do different things or try different things out without having the actual game played the way it was supposed to be played. Just putting it out there like that. Peep mode, as many of us seen through the Twitter feeds where the player is looking like that. So it is a zoom option. As you know, when you were kids, you're like, I'm looking through my binoculars. So that is what that is. It zooms in and it lets you put a waypoint out there. So if you're looking at something and you're playing multiplayer, you could tell your friends, hey, let's go there. Or if you're like one of my subscribers says, it will help for putting down zipline anchors. If you're looking out and you want to put your zipline anchor somewhere, go ahead and just mark that spot on the map and you can get there. And these are temporary waypoints. Building customization, so bounce webs can now be adjusted. I've teased that one before. So you could do a 90-degree straight up and down angle or a 45-degree angle to let you jump sideways at a 45-degree angle. And they also have height adjustment, so you could do 25 to 100% jump height. So you could jump a little bit or you could jump high up. That's something that has been added. Lights in the game now have customization. Firefly, sap sconch, and mold sconch can now be turned on and off, adjusted for strength and color. So you definitely customize the color and the intensity of your lights within your base or wherever they're at. Armor dummies can be posed into different poses, like as in the photo mode that you're able to do. You're able to pose them as well. The improved data page, it's just an organized page on the user interface with data. Just organizes everything into separate categories instead of having a hodgepodge of everything that you find out there for the missions and stuff like that, cassette tapes, notes and everything. They're organized into their own categories instead of having everything splatted on one big page. Status effect displays. Status effects will now be shown with tooltips on the backpack as well as your status screen, and active statuses will be displayed on the main screen up underneath your SCABI piece down at the bottom. So where you see your food, hunger, health, stamina, and all that, right below that, you will also get status effect displays under there in little circles, and they have timer circles around those as well. Additional features, new languages, the craft mini button in the crafting menu will craft 5 of something at a time. I've also seen some higher ones with the newer update. Copy place building, so now you can quickly select a building piece, copy it, and replace it instead of keep going back into your building menu to get the piece that you want. So say you had a wall, a ceiling, and a floor. If you wanted to copy the walls, just go click on it, copy that wall, and then you could place it some more times. Same with anything. You could do it with armor dummies and stuff like that. The storage hot deposit, you can now hot deposit like items in your storage buildings by holding your button down, and it will just throw everything that's in your backpack that has the like item in your storage bin. So say you have sap and bug parts like spider fangs or something in 2 different chests. So you could go up to that chest, hold a button down, and the one chest that has the sap in it, it will deposit all your sap without needing to go in. Go over to your next chest, do the same thing for the spider parts. It will dump them all into that chest. It won't dump any items out of your backpack into your chest that are not already in the chest. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that last part made sense. So new achievements right here. There will be 8 new achievements that will be unlocked not during the public test, but when the actual Into the Wood update releases. So changes in tuning. So if you're fighting with a bow, any type of bow, and you die, in the past, you would respawn and have no arrows. Now they made it so if you die with a bow in your hand, you will get your arrows back as well. So that will be nice, because now you will have something to fight with going back into where you're at. You can now rest any time of the day. So you can go up to your lean-to or bed and rest for 8 hours, and it will give you a warning. If you go to bed like during the day, it will tell you that you will be waking up at night. Just something to be aware of. So controls, they have a level camera on sprint option. Many of the user interface controls that were not previously rebindable and the options are rebindable. Mutations. So the Blade Master no longer repairs the durability of swords. It now reduces the stamina cost on the next several attacks when procced. Javelineer no longer slows the enemies. It now reduces enemy damage resist when whatever that word is. Accessibility. Added wide interaction option, which allows players to interact with objects without directly looking at them. So for that, like if you're holding a wrench to repair your buildings, if you're looking at them, you will see all the building pieces that need to be repaired, and they will appear with a red outline now. The several interfaces have a narration support added to or improved. Added read to me speech option. Various notifications are now narrated when shown. Important narration such as quest notifications will not be interrupted by lower priority narration. Combat. So this is something, here's a key thing that I really technically just found out about myself when reviewing this page. Weapons now deal progressively more damage with each hit in a combo sequence. The first attack of the weapon combo does the least amount of damage. Combo finishers deal the most amount of damage. Overall, damage per second of a full combo is the same. Specifically, instead of a 3-hit combo doing 100, 100, 100, now it will deal 50, 100, and 150. So that is something to be aware of with this new update and with the weapons, that the 3-hit combos will not do this type of damage. It will do progressive damage as you complete the combination. Hammers now have a 3-hit combo to utilize above combo system changes. So that the hammers, I have noticed, like when I'm out there getting resources such as quartzite, or if you find a milk molar, that hammer will hit 3 times quickly and break that thing apart. It will do 50, 100, and then 150 damage per with the hits, and it does a quick 3-hit as well. Something that is very nice for that update right there. So all weapons have a damage curve pass to make sure that they're in line with each other. So they have taken the weapons and tried to put them on the same playing level. The damage curve pass to make sure they're all in line with one another for the type of damage. It's kind of leveling out. You don't have like the one weapon. I don't even know really what that means. I won't even try to explain it. Okay, so shields will no longer slow down movement when blocking. So when you have your shield up, you will not slow down. You will continue to move as normal. Reduced the movement penalty for moving backwards. Crow arrows now apply a bleed damage over time. Building health and repair tool. So right here, the attack input can be held to constantly trigger the repair action repeatedly while holding the repair tool. So just hold your attack button down and your repair tool will constantly repair the building or item that you want to repair. The repair world icons are now replaced with a red outline around the building that needs to be repaired. So what it used to be was the repair wrench would show up on the items that need to be repaired. Now what they're doing is the items that need to be repaired will show up with a red outline. Building structure health values have been increased across the game. So the damage that a structure will take has been increased, is all that's saying right there. The interface, this one right here, you can assign similar tools that are different upgrade levels types to different slots on the hot pouch. For example, one slot can be spicy pebblet axe, while another slot is a fresh pebblet axe. Tools of the same upgrade level type will be grouped to the same slot if you have more than one. Okay, so what that is trying to tell us right there. So this is for any tools or weapons that we may carry. So say you have 3 antlion swords. You have a spicy antlion sword. You have a fresh antlion sword and a strong antlion sword. Say they're all level 8. When you put them, you could drag and put each one in a different hot pouch slot. So when you're out there fighting, if you run across something that does not have the same effect with one of the spicinesses, you could just switch over to the different one. If you have 2 of the same at the same level, they will both show up in your hot pouch, but you'll have the sword symbol, and then down at the bottom you will have ×2. So that is all this is saying, is you are able to equip the same style of weapon or tool and separate them into different hot pouches depending on what attributes you have added to them. Hopefully that makes sense to you. I went and tried it out, and it makes sense once you do it. Right there, it's kind of confusing to read and explain. So hopefully I did a okay job doing that. If I did not, I'm sorry. Go ahead and ask the question below, and I will try to re-explain that one again. Players can now place temporary waypoints on the map. Drop items and arrow icons become less visible if the player is in combat. This is to remove the heads-up display clutter while fighting bugs. So if you're out there and you just spamming arrows and then you decide you're going to go in and fight hand-to-hand, all those arrow icons that used to be laying around and get in the way of the screen when you're fighting will no longer show up while you're fighting. They'll be there, but you won't see all the little icons until after the fight, I am guessing. Selected items in the storage UI will display what level upgrade they have, if any. Damage type icons that show when looking at harvestable objects now only show when the object is in range. Okay. Weapons can now be upgraded to a +9 or level 9. Level 8 and 9 will require a new upgrade material.
Green scarab beetle. I didn't say it.
Damage and durability increase per level has been reduced across the board. Upgrade weapons will now require additional resources to repair. So get ready to start farming and grinding out getting resources. I got the new sword and didn't upgrade it very far, and it still required a lot of resources to be able to even repair it. So get ready for the grind. I'm not happy about that one, but hopefully they will fix it. Go over to doors. Base doors now properly save and load which direction the door was open. Curved doors now only open in the outward direction. General building, updated the Smoothie mixer art so that the Smoothie station has been updated. It looks a lot better than what it did. Building placements, buildings of the same type are now grouped on the radial. The building material can be changed with the next building material control, default F key or Y button. So what this is saying is we have 3 floors now. So with the 3 floors, the grass, the wood, and now the burr floor, they will all be under the same radial menu icon of floors. And underneath that icon, there will be 3 little colored squares, and it will tell you, so instead of trying to go to different menus across the screen to find which floor you want to put in, it's all under the floor icon, and then you click the F key or the Y button, and it will scroll through the 3 different floors. That makes it a lot easier and quicker for building. More organized, less stuff going on the screen. Structural buildings are no longer allowed to overlap unbuildable materials such as plastic, glass, and metal, so that you're not going to be able to build into world objects. Large foliage such as grass and rocks will now block placement of certain non-structural buildings. Can't build things into that once again. The spinning wheel and grinder. The spinning wheel and grinder UIs have been updated to work similar to the oven UI to support more features. So the spinning wheels and grinders are now area craftable things, so you don't have to have the item in your inventory in order to place it into the spinning wheel or grinder for it to do what it needs to do. You will see the list of recipes you can do these do at these buildings even without having said items to process. You can grind any grass, planks, or weed logs you are hauling into plant fibers. So you go over to your grinder if you're holding a stack of either grass planks or weed logs and you want plant fiber, you just throw them in there and tell your grinders to process how many you want to process. Note right here to backward support this with saves prior to the 0.12 update. Any items that are finished and not collected are currently being processed in the spinning wheel or grinder will be lost when loading a save prior to 0.12 for the first time. So if you have stuff, your grinder or spinning wheel, before you update, take everything out of those so you won't lose them. Optimization improves CPU performance for hosts of multiplayer games, improves frame rate for hosts, and experience for connected clients. So hopefully this will enhance the multiplayer portion of the game, because I know that has been huge issue over the past life of the game. World resources, grass blades drop planks with only a 20% drop rate when destroyed with explosives. Grass blades break immediately when destroyed by explosives. Creatures, sickly roly polies no longer drop sickly parts. Items using the dandelion tuft no longer requires stamina. The crusty roly poly armor right here is no longer craftable, so we can't make it. We have to go out and find a complete set of crusty roly poly armor. Is hidden somewhere in the yard. Antlion armor is now considered medium armor. Whew, still got a ways to go here. Major fixes. Creatures will stop clumping into certain areas when players are not around, like on the edge of the dry area and the grass area where all those ants just kind of clustered and hung out there. That's supposed to not happen. Arrows shot from the player should no longer occasionally come out with a delay. Player voices while wearing gas masks will no longer cause audio corruption. Game crafting interface can no longer become unresponsive to keys after pressing enter in the filter box. Okay. World. Pond breakers will now show a red indicator when powered but not reset. Oh, the pond circuit breakers, I'm guessing, is what they're saying. They'll have a red indicator when the power, when powered, but not yet reset. In the pond, the circuit breakers have an indicator. Yes, some assets that will, some assets that can, let me do that again. Some assets that could not have buildings placed on them now can. Building validity checks for very flat or narrow buildings are now more consistent. All right. Items, equipment, and resources. Roof squared corner will no longer change into roof corner after placing one. Drying berry chunks on the jerky rack now credits artificer berry leather quests. Did we have that quest? I don't remember. When slime molds are harvested, clients will see the correct number of remaining stalks in the cluster. Pets. Clients will now see pet inventory prompt on their pet after rejoining the game in progress. Pet memorials will no longer forget the pet name after being demolished. Fixed and ultra widescreen issues of handful of user interfaces is I guess that's what the S is afterwards. The bug fixes. Windows 10 store platform. The export save option in the save load menu now shows the correct hotkey. Omnit Practical Technologies classified. Okay, so that was the 0.12 patch notes. All right, so now this portion, there is some updates to the original one, and I would just quickly go over these. These came out 2 days after the public test update was released, so we'll just kind of quickly go through it. The two-handed weapons can no longer be auto-equipped on pickup when holding a shield offhand. Affits on the roasting spit now properly positioned on the spit. Weapon upgrades can now be purchased for free in creative mode, or if all recipes unlocked and free is checked in the custom game mode. Smoothies can be purchased for free in creative mode, all recipes unlocked. Same as above. They're free if you're in the custom creative mode. The cookbook in the woodpile burgle chip now contains the recipes. So before it didn't have the recipes, with this update right here on Thursday, it does now contain it. Survey stations now unlocked when the associate point of interest is spotted instead of on interactive. So when you see the tent, that survey station will unlock instead of going in and actually needing to push on the survey station. The red highlight around damaged buildings while holding a repair tool now works properly. Spiderweb slow status effect has an icon, name, and description in the user interface. Points of interest unlock no longer display a key item acquired notification as well. A particular science pickup near the edge will no longer be in the retaining wall on very old saves. The charcoal hot springs shows up in the data page. Peep.R Mode no longer has performance issues on all characters beside Max. Termite armor mesh updated. Termite armor status effects have been added. Camera positioning for lighting, for light building customization, better frames the light building. Added audio and particles to the pupa harvesting. I probably pronounced it right. I was being corrected in one of my live streams. I'm saying it the way it looks. Resource survey stations are automatically added to the map area if you have already discovered the field station they are sitting in. Craft mini works properly in creative mode, or if all recipes unlocked, and blah blah blah. The termite walk animations have been polished. Various entries on the data tab have had their inspect model updated. Health tuning pass on various bugs added to 0.12. Proper descriptions have been added to termite axe and black ox hammer. Termite king health and damage resistance has been increased. Morningstar recipe requires normal roly-poly parts instead of sickly roly-poly parts. Ladybirds should stop wandering into under construction area of the upper yard. Aphids no longer always drop pet memorials. Splinter arrow mesh has now been updated. All right, so that was the next update to the original update. And then the following update that came out a day later is this right here. Fix crash related to flying creatures flying around. Fix a few issues with a charcoal bag collision. Lighting pass on upper yard interiors. Crusty roly-poly armor no longer requires sickly parts to repair. Added more raw fiber sprigs, pebblets, etc. to upper yard. Green shield bug now drops unique resources needed to craft a new weapon type. Ladybird larvae are no longer completely immune to spicy damage, just highly resistant. Adjusted bug gloop drop rates across the new creatures. Termite King deals more damage and drops unique resources needed for the termite armor. Termite King visuals have been updated. The red highlight around damaged buildings while holding the repair tool now works properly. The science zipline anchors no longer can be copied. The building integrity custom game option actually enables building integrity. These hides right here no longer fall through the level occasionally when harvesting them. That was already said. Changed what background music tracks play while near the barbecue spill. Infected wolf spiders properly spawn for games that have already plugged the haze canister prior to the 0.12 public test build. Adjusted the respawn times for various bugs and items in the upper yard. Survey station UI has been updated to show more map. Hotkeys while using survey station work while mouse is scrolling on the map. Added more loot onto the shed deck. So that, as of right now, are all the updates included in this public test, and I will stay on top of this so I don't have to make a 40-minute video on all these updates. So hopefully this helps. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And as always, you guys have a great time out there exploring the backyard. I am Magic Flying Potato, and I am out.